In this video, I'm going to tell you how to explain low grades and test scores on your college application to still have good chances to get into the Ivy League. At the end of this video, we're going to cover how to exactly present those reasons so admissions officers don't think you're making excuses, but instead see them as legitimate personal context. So I highly recommend watching this video until the end so you could maximize your chances of getting into top 20 universities and the Ivy Leagues. But before we get into explanations, let's cover how top universities actually evaluate your application, because that determines what you must explain. When evaluating your application, admissions officers use an internal rating system, usually from 1 to 5, across multiple categories, 1 being exceptional to 5 being weak. Category number 1 is academics. It is your GPA, the rigor and difficulty of your academic course load, and how well you performed relative to your peers. Category number 2, standardized tests like SAT and ACT. It's not early post-COVID era anymore. Admissions officers know that if you're not submitting your test scores, it most likely means that you didn't get a good score. So working hard and scoring 15-20 plus on the SAT and 34 plus on the SAT is highly recommended. Category number 3, essays. Admissions officers want to see movie character development arcs in your essays to see how you went from point A to point B. A personal growth is a must. If you're finding this video helpful so far, make sure to like, leave a comment on what you think, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more valuable college admissions content. Number 4, recommendation letters. Best rec letters, just like the best essays, show the best qualities of a student through specific stories and examples instead of telling about them. Show, don't tell rule applies here as well. Number 5, extracurricular impact. There is no one set of activities required by top universities as long as you have a spike and not a well-rounded profile. But generally, most successful students have a published research project with a PhD in their major, super selective summer programs on their resume, and prestigious academic and essay competitions. At my consulting company, Quasar & Co., we help students with all of those activities. We're not a mass market agency. We only work with a limited number of families. Apply for a private consultation via the first link in bio for a consideration to work with us. Category 6 is an interview. It's optional for most top universities for US citizens, but almost all international students accepted to Harvard had an interview, so be sure to prepare. And finally, category number 7 is personal context. Includes things like socioeconomic background, family situation, like parents being divorced or not having one parent in your life, excruciating circumstances or great personal adversity, and available school resources. Admissions always considers context. So if you have a low GPA or SAT and ACT, you must provide a clear, credible explanation. Or many top colleges will rate you low in their academic category and quietly cut you from consideration. To prevent it from happening, let's talk about how you can properly explain low grades and low test scores on your application. The strongest explanations share one important quality. Focus on something outside of students' control, because admissions officers know that life isn't perfect and equal to everyone. So they want to see your personal context and how you acted in spite of it. So here's a list of 8 specific reasons for having low grades and test scores. As I said, I will tell you how to properly frame and present these explanations on your application at the end of this video. Explanation number 1, learning differences like ADHD and dyslexia. For example, after being diagnosed in sophomore year, I worked with a specialist and adapted new strategies. My grades improved steadily once I got the right support. Explanation number 2, family divorce and caretaking responsibility. For example, during a difficult separation, I took responsibility for my younger sibling. Once things stabilized, so did my academics. Reason number 3, medical condition or chronic illness. For example, a health issue caused significant absences. After treatment, I recovered academically and showed a strong upside trend. Fourth explanation, mental health challenges. For example, after struggling with anxiety and depression, I sought professional help and developed healthy coping strategies. My academic improvement reflects that growth. Be always proactive, never self-pitying. Fifth explanation, unsafe or abusive home environment. For example, instability at home affected my learning environment. Through mentorship and support networks, my academic performance improved as the situation stabilized. Sixth explanation, language barrier after immigration. For example, after immigrating, academic English was initially a challenge. By sophomore year, I adapted and my grades improved significantly. Seventh and eighth explanations can actually be combined. It's financial hardship and part-time job. For example, working over 20 hours a week to support my family limited my study time, but taught me time management and resilience that now strengthen my academics. None of these explanations blame others. They highlight something outside of your control and then show growth, responsibility, and recovery. That's what colleges value. If this is helping you so far, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I regularly post college admissions breakdown videos. Now let's talk about how not to explain your low grades and what you must avoid writing. These mistakes will get your application ignored, or worse, make admissions officers think that you're making excuses. Examples include saying, "My teacher hated me," "I just didn't care about school back when I was younger," "Online school was different and hard," or "Everyone else did badly too." These all signal deflection, not maturity. By the way, let me know in the comments if you want to see the next video on the top mistakes that silently kill your college application. Finally, let's talk about how to properly present and frame these explanations on your application. Your explanation goes in the additional information section, not your personal statement. Here's how to do it. Keep it 2 to 5 sentences. Focus on outside of your control factors. Be honest and accountable. Emphasize what you learned. Highlight your upward trend and connect it to a strength if possible. Bonus tip: ask your counselor and teacher recommenders to support your explanation in their recommendation letters. A teacher saying the student's performance was affected by circumstances beyond their control, and once those problems were resolved, this student excelled, is extremely powerful. It confirms your story and eliminates any suspicion of excuse making. Top colleges don't want perfection. They want to see potential, personal context, and resilience. With the right explanations, even low grades and test scores can actually demonstrate strength. If you found this helpful, smash a like button, subscribe, and share this with someone applying this year. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.